Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fashion with Sort Out YouTube channel. So here are the materials we are going to be needing for the dress. Now I have my mikado here, and then a glass tapeter. Then we have our net, bridal net, and then we have bridal lace also. So we are setting it aside and we'll move forward to the patterning. We are dealing with the upper part first. Okay, so this is the front pattern. So what I'm going to do now, I've drawn out the basic line. What I'm going to do now is take my ruler and then connect the shoulder line to the chest line, right? So I've drawn out the shoulder slant, as you can see. I hope we know how to do that. What I did was to measure 3 inches from the neck center, and then from there I mark the 3 inches and then draw it down with 1 inch to form the shoulder slant, and then I drew the line down to the chest line and making a connect for the armhole cuff right there. Next, we are going to mark out our bust points to get the dart line. The bust point we are working with is 8 inches. I divided it by 2, that is 4, and then add ½ inch to it, that's 4.5. Right there, I'm marking out 4.5 all the way down, and then I'm going to connect the lines. We'll go ahead and connect the line to the chest line, right? And then so the next thing, before we proceed, let me just label all the lines so that you will know what I'm talking about. The first line is the chest line, then we have the bust point, then we have the under bust length, the next is the waist, and then we have our allowance, right? Now we'll come to the under bust area and mark 1 inch in and 1 inch outward. Like on the 2 sides, we are marking 1 inch in and out. Then coming to the waistline, we'll mark 1 inch, even at the allowance, 1 inch in, 1 inch out. And then we'll connect the lines, like connect the allowance line, the 1 inch to each other first, and then we'll move forward move upward rather to connect the under bust, the 1.5 on the other bust line to the waist, and then to the other side. After that has been done, we'll pick our cuff ruler and then connect the line to the bust point line, like so, in a curve way. Do you see? And we are doing this because it's going to be padded. It's a bustier. We are going to do that to the other side too. And then because the dress is going to have a yoke, so we are going to place our tape rule right there, like you see, and then mark 2 inches upward. This will serve as our yoke. We'll make a connect of the extension, like a line to the folded area. That is what will serve as our yoke, and then we'll extend the line to the new line drawn, right? Okay, so we'll come to the yoke line area and then mark 1 inch inward and 1 inch outward, like so. And after that has been done, we'll pick our ruler and then make a connect from the bust point to the new line, which I call the yoke line, so that we are doing that to avoid gaping afterwards. I'm just going to shade out that area now so that we'll know where we are cutting out, and then we'll proceed to imputing our body circumference. Now, the bust we are working with is 38 inches divided by 4. 38 divided by 4, that's 9.5. I'm going to mark that, and then what we are going to cut out there, that area that is going to be cut out is added to it. We move to our under bust area. The under bust measurement is 32 inches divided by 4, that's 8. I marked out 8 and then added that area that will be cut out, which is 3 inches, and then I added allowance also to it, and that's the mark. We'll do the same to the waist area. The waist measurement so is 32 inches divided by 4, that's 8 inches. I mark out the 8 inches, then that area that will be cut out, which is 2 inches, will be added to it, and the allowance will also be added to it. And after that has been done, we'll connect all the lines, all the points together. So that is it to the front of the upper part of the dress. We are going to take the scissors and then cut the whole thing out. And after the cutting, guys, this is the way it came out. That's the sides and the center side, the center front rather, the side, and then the other one will serve as the yoke. We'll set this aside now and proceed to our back. Now the back is not going to unfold. We are not going to include the zipper allowance because it's going to be with loop. So we are marking out our normal back measurement, which is 14 inches divided by 2, 7. I added ½ inch to it, and then I marked that out. I'm going to form the shoulder line like so, and then mark our shoulder slants like so, and then we're going to mark out the darts, and then I'm using the bust point also for the back, which is 8 inches divided by 2, 4. I added ½ inch to it for sewing allowance, and then I connect the line. So ultimately I marked out 4.5 right there, and then we'll make our armhole cuff, and then on the shoulder, on the dart line, we are going to come in ½ inch in and out at the base, I mean the zipper allowance area, and then connect it up like so to the chest line, and then we are going to mark out our body circumference just like we did to the front, the same measurements we use for the front. Our bust is 38 divided by 4, and then after the under bust circumference is 32 divided by 4, that is 8. I added 2.5 inches as our sewing allowance, and then I connect all the lines. Now because remember I said it's going to have a loop, right? So what we are going to do is cut it out like so that we'll know what we are working with. Okay, I'll cut my shoulder slant also, and then proceed to shade the darts that will cut out. And then remember I said it's going to have a loop. Now instead, normally in cutting of the back we include zipper allowance of 1.5 inches depending, but for this what we are going to do is remove 2 inches from the back, right, which because we are using loop, and then we'll come to the neck area and mark 2 inches depth, and then cut it. Although I later changed my mind on the back, I want the back to be of V shape, right? So I'm just going to cut that out and then mark like connect the neck width to the chest line that we have over there, which is 8 inches. So it's going to be 8 inches open. I want it to be V shape at the back, right? And then I'm going to connect the 2 inches inward that I marked inward because it's a loop dress, right? So now we are done with it. I'm just going to cut it out for you to see what we have there. And so after cutting the whole thing out, guys, this is the way we have it. We'll set that aside and then proceed to the skirt part of the dress, right? So I'm going to mark out the starting line, which is what I am doing, and from there on that starting line I'm going to mark out my waist measurement, I mean the waist measurement we are working with, which is 32 inches divided by 4, that's 8. I added 2 extra inches to it as a sewing allowance, right? So from there I'm going to mark out the hip circumference, the hip line. So I marked 6 and 8, like 6 inches and 8 horizontally, and then I'm going to just connect the lines like so. And from there we'll move to our knee length. To get the knee length accurately, I'm going to place my tape rule right there on the starting line and then mark out 34 inches, which is our knee length from the shoulder, right? Okay, so after that has been done, we will impute our hip circumference. The hip we are working with is 40 inches divided by 410. Then I added 2 extra inches to it as the allowance. Same thing I will put on the other line, and then we'll proceed to our knee length. Okay, But before we do that, we'll connect our hip to the waist like so, and then coming down to the nail length, we are going to remove 1.5 inch from the measurements we have on our hip, and then I'm going to mark it out and connect it with my cuff roller like so. Now we'll proceed to the hem of the dress and then mark out our skirt length. So right there I marked out 45 inches. That will serve as our hem length, and then the same circumference I have on the nail length, I'm going to mark it and make a connect, draw out a line. I hope you can see what I'm doing now. So the same measurement I have on the nail length is what I'm going to mark out there to have a straight line. I marked it there like that, and then I'm going to make a connect of the point. And so remember I said that the skirt is going to have an insertion to have that A shape. Okay, so that's why we cut it straight at first, and then I'm going to cut out the whole thing. For the insertion, I have gone ahead to place my the skirt cut out on a plain paper, and then I had to glue it down for stability. Now once you cut out the insertion, right, you see the way I place it. So from the nail length, that point, I'm just going to make a slant curve to the edge of the new paper that I placed like so. Do you see? Now the essence of we doing that is for us to have a wide hem, and then to still have the fish shape, the mermaid shape of on the skirt. So I'm just going to draw. After I place the normal skirt on the pattern paper, I measure the hem. With this, I have like 28 inches as my hem width, right? So what I'm going to do next is connect it in a straight way so that I will know what to cut out. I'll connect the points, right? You remember this is an insertion, so we have it in that triangle way. I'll take my scissors now and cut the whole thing out, and that's how we have our insertion. So guys, after cutting the whole thing out, this is what it looks like, our main skirt and then our insertion. I'll go ahead now and use this to cut all the fabrics. So guys, I've gone ahead and cut all the fabrics, and this is all we have. As you can see, we have the front, that's the side of the front, and this is the center. I've gone ahead to cut all the wooden we are going to use for padding the dress, and so set that aside. This is the back, right? Okay, sorry guys, so I only cut the Mikado and illusion net for the upper part because we are still going to do lace placement, but for the same thing to the back. But for the down part of the skirt, I cut the lining, I cut the Mikado. You see, I cut the Mikado, I cut the lining, and I also cut the lace. For the down part, we are not doing placement, so I cut out the lace we are going to use. Same thing for the back, right? Now coming to the insertion. For the insertion, I cut out the Mikado, right, which is our main fabric. I cut out the lining, right. I also cut the illusion net. On that, we are going to do lace placement, right. So this is all our cuttings. We'll proceed to sewing now. Now to the upper part of the front, and that's our fabric. I place the illusion net on it like so. I'm going to turn it and then place the wording. Remember I said it's going to be padded, so we'll pin it down for stability. Also for the side, okay, I'm going to take the main fabric, which is the Mikado, that's the toe side, and place the net on it like I did to the center. On the other side too, we'll place it and then put the wording, rather I'll turn it and place the wording. I'm doing all these arrangements for stability and to know where and what to sew. So that's the side of the upper part and the center. The same thing I did to the front is what I'm going to do to the back. Like I will pin the whole thing and then go ahead to sew it. Right here, guys, I've gone ahead to join it, and this is our front. After padding it, this is the way we have it, and that's our lining. So right there, we are going to go ahead and fix the lining. That's the illusion net, right? I've joined that also. And for our back, I remember I said it's going to have a loop. I've done a side of the loop, and then I'm going to show you the other side. Now for the other side, we have the main fabric, right? And then the net. I've joined the center to, I've taken the dart rather, and then I've gone ahead to like sew the bias, something like a bias sewing. And then what I'm going to do now is cut it like into that shape. Now what I have there is 4 inches. Do you see? So what I'm going to do is just cut the whole thing for 4 inches such that it will be enough. And for the 4 inches cut, I have like I'm going to be cutting out 8 of it, like 4 inches in 8 places. And guys, here we have everything cut out. So now I'm just going to show you how I fixed it, and then in placing it, it must be accurate with the other side. So what we are going to do is just pick up take out the pole, and then place our loop, our cutouts like so. Now what I did was to start from 1 inch, like I put 1 inch over there so that it will serve as our sewing, like anything we want to join to it. Remember, we're still going to join the illusion, so I'm just going to place it that way and then pin. I'm just going to go ahead and pin the whole thing all the way down. Okay, so guys, after pinning the whole thing, this is the way it came out. And then I'm just going to place the other side to check out the accuracy. You see that in pinning, I pinned to the other side, not to the place that will be sewn. Okay, so I'll just place the lining on it and go ahead to sew it. That's the illusion. I'm going to join the illusion to it also. And then for our skirt, now in fixing the down parts, this was what I did. The open area is where will be fixed to the upper part of the dress, right? And then the down part is like so. It is joined actually, but you can still see the rough edges of the lace. This was done because we are still going to cut out the lace edge and place it to join the whole thing. And this is the insertion. So what I did was to go ahead and fix the whole thing. We have to end this tutorial now, guys. I hope you got value watching it. After fixing the whole thing, I did the necessary lace placement at the edge, even on the upper part. And guys, this is the way it came out afterwards. This is our bride on our big day, and everything came out beautiful. I hope you got value watching this video. If you do, kindly share this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you have any question, please feel free to ask. I will always answer you. Share this video with your friend. Thank you for staying through to the end of this tutorial. God bless you. Bye bye.